Welcome to the OKDN show. I am Titia, Owens, the Madre.
Hey y'all, I'm Chyna, Elizabeth the daughter. Welcome back to the show.
We're so excited today. We have a friend in the room with us who I have known for 5,422 years. And she took a call from me and accepted the invitation. And I'm so excited that she is here because not only has she been a friend, she's just been somebody that has gone through some ups and downs with me in my life. And so to have her here is a privilege and an honor. So let's welcome to the stage to the OKDN show.
Okay, then.
Tell them who you are.
My name is Aisha Nakia Seawright.
Ooh.
Nakia. See, right, that it's about that middle name.
Yeah. Now check it out. I was gonna be named Billie Jean.
Oh.
My dad's name is Billy. My mama's name is Jean.
Okay.
And I was gonna be named Billie Jean. And then they heard "Isn't She Lovely" a month before I was born.
Okay.
And when Stevie Wonder said "Life is Aisha," the meaning of her name, my mama said we're gonna name her Aisha.
Oh.
Wow.
Thank God.
So you was just
because I
born
did not want to grow up be named Billie Jean. And with a BJ for your short name? That's not cute.
Kind of cute.
No.
Yeah, it would have had a little something to it.
I like Aisha better. So
Okay,
we'll
Aisha.
stick with that.
Aisha.
Yeah,
We like that. Well, isn't that cute?
it is.
But what we want to get into today, so there's a lot going on with people and individuals with their life and their families and different struggles and emotional issues that are coming up. And what we wanted to talk about with her today is the word grief. Now, when people think about grief, of course, they automatically think about loss, sometimes heartache, pain, all those different emotions. So we're going to get right into it and just kind of let her give us a backdrop to some of the grief that she's dealt with and then how she's been transitioning out of those processes. So take us back a little bit, Aisha, when you first understood what that word meant.
Okay, so, COVID.
Yeah.
It happened and we were all, nobody knew what to expect.
For
We were all
sure.
kind of just, whatever. And so I had this really close friend of mine. He was a pastor. His name was Bishop Omar Jawar. And he was committed to changing the world and urban communities and just going and being an activist. And I was like, you need to sit your hips down somewhere because you didn't have a shot. He didn't want the shot. He didn't want the booster or whatever it was. I guess the vaccine. He didn't want that.
Okay.
And so he was traveling to Atlanta, and we always talked before he would get on a plane. And so I saw that he was in Atlanta online, and then I didn't hear from him because I was like, where are you? And so I texted him. I said, if you don't text me back, I'm calling the police.
Okay.
And he said, hey, I'm in ICU. I have COVID, but I'm going to be fine. Just pray for me, blah, blah. Can you send me a song? And so I sent him this song called Be Okay by the artist, I guess it's Samat, but it's Thomas spelled backwards.
Oh, okay.
So I'll Be Okay. So that was the last video my friend posted. And so he ended up struggling with COVID and passing away in March of 2021. So then I found out on July 15th in 2021, my dad had cancer.
We'll go back to Omar though.
Oh.
You found out he passed, but how did you deal with it? You can't skip that.
I can't really say. He was coming out of it. Because he was sick. He had gotten stuck in Kansas City.
Okay.
And he was sick there. And then his family wanted to move him back to Dallas.
Okay.
Because they had been traveling, a lot back and forth. And he was getting great health care in Kansas City, but they wanted him here. So everybody could have access to him.
Yeah.
And so, it's so weird, but I asked his sister that Tuesday. I said, "Can I come see him?" And she was like, "Yeah, he's getting better. You should be able to come see him in like a week."
Okay.
And then that night, I had a dream about him. He came to my school. He had on this big white hat, and he was like, "What you doing?" I was like, "What you doing? I thought you were sick." And he was like, "No, I came to check on you." He was like, in my dream.
Okay.
No, he said, "I came to check on you." I said, "I was checking on you. How you doing?" And then in my dream, these two doctors came and scooped him up and took him away. The next morning at school, I got a phone call. He was gone. And so how did I process that? I just didn't know what to do. Because I was told he was getting better and I was going to be able to see him. And so that really broke my heart as far as Dallas celebrated him. They had his name on the Omni and the Reunion Tower, and we did all these great things to honor him. But that really broke my heart because I just was not expecting that ending, and the last thing he told all of us was to stay in the kingdom. The last thing he said, hey, no matter what happens to me, y'all stay in the kingdom. He did not want his death or even his illness to redirect us from Christ,
Wow.
And so that just broke my heart. And then shortly thereafter, my dad, it was July 15th, I got a call that my dad had cancer, and it was like leukemia or something. But he was like, I don't know what stage it is. I don't know what the doctor said. I don't trust these people. And I'm like, Daddy. So he was like, I don't want to have chemo. I'm 77. I've lived a long life. Leave me alone. And we were like, no, Daddy. You need to have chemo. So the chemotherapy caused him to have a heart attack. And then I got a call. I was supposed to be at his house. It was Labor Day. I was supposed to come over, and I got the call at like 3 in the morning that he had fallen, and they resuscitated him, but they took him back to the hospital, and blah, blah. Anyway, he was gone for like 3 days, and so they just wanted to make sure he didn't have any brain activity. So that messed me up because I was with him, when he took his last breath. I was there, putting lotion on him and singing to him, and just doing all the stuff I thought I was supposed to do as a daughter. I didn't want him to be alone.
Yeah.
So
was he single?
No.
Okay.
His wife, he's married to his wife, his widow. Shout out to Kathy. Hey, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
And my stepsister and my bonus sister. Like, they were there the whole time. It was just rough though. Like that really hurt me because my daddy, like, is the one who got me queen, and he just spoiled me. He used to drive me to the moon. So we had this thing. I'm obsessed with the moon because of my dad. He would put me in the car, me and Snoopy. This is before cell phone and stuff.
Who's Snoopy?
Snoopy, my little Snoopy.
They don't.
Oh, okay. So Snoopy is a character from Charles Short. It's like Charlie Brown's best friend, and Snoopy never talked. And so I love Snoopy because I could tell him my secrets, and he would never share them with anyone.
Okay.
So like when my parents would fight or argue or whatever, I could talk to Snoopy, and Snoopy would hold all my secrets.
Okay.
So my daddy would take me and Snoopy. He'd be like, "Let's go to the moon," and we would get on in the Cadillac. That's why I like Cadillacs. And we would get on I-20 as the moon was rising. He was like, "Come on, and we're driving to the moon." I mean, he would do this once a month.
Wow.
Until I was like I don't remember till age 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
That's
sweet.
beautiful.
Yeah, and so anyway, when he passed, that really took me down. Like, I thought I literally heard my mind, not my heart, but I heard my mind go. Like, I heard it snap. Like, what am I supposed to do now? This one person who gave me my name, this person who told, the first man who ever loved me, he's gone.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do now? And so, and then you have to plan a funeral and then write the obituary and do all of this and da-da-da-da, blah, blah, and
Go through that process with us though. So you lost your
I
father.
lost my dad.
You started feeling like you didn't know what to do at that point.
Didn't know what to do, but I knew, because it's, hey, we gotta do a service, we gotta da-da-da.
Okay.
So writing an obituary, trying to, how do you put your dad's life or your parents' life in a few words, in a couple of paragraphs? How do you summarize their life in a few words that people can randomly just take as a program and throw in the trash later?
Wow.
So it was very important to me that I was specific in what I said and how I honored him. And I think his service, it was beautiful. All my friends came, and all my musician friends, they participated. I wasn't even expecting anybody to show up, but they did, and it was a beautiful service. But that messed me up because
all the support.
No,
What?
just him dying, and then him going into the ground at Laurel Lane.
Tell us what messed you up. That's what we need to know specifically.
So my dad was not really cold natured. He was always kind of sweaty, but me in my mind, I know he's not there.
Yeah.
But that's the last place I saw him. So I was going to Laurel Lane every single day.
Okay.
And sometimes I would just lay down, are you cold? You know what I'm saying? Like, just, and my mind was doing some crazy thing. Like, I know he's not in there, but I'm worried because this is the last place I saw him, So, are you cold, Daddy? Do you need anything? just.
So you were speaking to him still as
if he was physically
Got
here.
it. Okay.
But he wasn't,
And you felt you needed to do that because for you, that was just your way of communicating the process.
Exactly. That was just that was my process. I didn't know, I've never dealt with death that closely before. And so, that was an intimate death to watch him His last breath at 150.
Yeah.
You know, September 9th, 2021. You know, all threes. You know, three's my favorite number. Like all these things. It's just like, okay, my daddy's in here. Are you okay, daddy? Are you cold? You know. So it took me a while to stop doing that.
Okay.
Somebody was like, girl, he is not there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's the last place I saw him in my mind.
Yeah.
I can't
Cut it off.
I can't separate the fact that he's not in there, like he's, you know, in the sky or in my dreams or whatever.
Right.
So anyway, that happened. Then my sister, my biological sister, she got really, really sick. She had diabetes for a while and she needed a kidney transplant. Actually got one in 2017. But one of her doctor's visits, she caught COVID.
Okay.
And so they put her in the hospital and then she got pneumonia and then it was like maybe a week when she was gone.
Wow. This was
my biological sister. This was February 2022.
Whoa.
Jesus.
So my dad died. So it was Omar March 2021. My dad September 21. My sister February 2022.
Let's say that before we go to anybody else.
All right.
So tell me what happened when you realized you had lost your sister.
Were y'all really close?
We were close to in the adult part of our lives. So this is my sister who tormented me.
Okay.
She used to throw worms on me and tell me, you know, that they were snakes and she would tell me I was adopted and that's
how much older?
11 years old.
Okay.
And she ran away. She told my mom, hey, you bring that baby home, I'm running away from home.
Okay.
And my mama brought me home and she ran away.
Oh wow.
For 2 weeks to my great aunt's house. But still, she ran away.
She ran away.
And she tormented me most of my life until, you know, it was about 20, 21, 20, she started apologizing. I'm sorry. And then, y'all, this is the thing. So my two sisters, they were not able to have children.
Okay.
So I was able to have a son. And I had my son on her birthday. So she is Nanny birthday forever. You know, and like that was his other mom. Like the Nanny birthday will get it, Nanny birthday, you know, whatever. So when they asked us, do we want to, you know, do the DNR, do not resuscitate, I was like looking at her and they had already resuscitated her, but they had broken her chest. All of this was gray and purple. And I was like, don't touch her anymore. You know, just let her go. If she, you know, she happens to go, just let her go, you know. And my mom, all of this is happening. And my mom had a stroke in 2018. I don't know if I told you this. So my mom is paralyzed. So she was not able to attend my sister's funeral, and so my stepdad just died. I don't know if I told you that. We ain't got to that part. So yeah, so my mom has not been able to attend any of the services. She's been doing them online, but she's been at home and you know, paralyzed. And so it's just been like me trying to
cope with it all,
navigate everybody's grief and my own. And then go to work and be a teacher and a wife and a mom and you know what I'm saying, like just trying, girl, it's a lot. Grief is a heavy bald-headed monkey with a wig on. I'm talking about, it's like it's heavy. It's really, I told my therapist, I do go to therapy.
That's good.
I told my therapist, I said, I feel like I'm dragging 10 bowling balls up a hill every day. I really do.
So how are you navigating daily? I know you're speaking with someone, but just your day-to-day, like what is a regimen for you to cope with your daily experiences?
So I get up, first thing I do when I get up is I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for, and it's nothing, and so the agreement that I made with myself is nothing that I can't say anything that I've already said. So like if I said yesterday I'm grateful for my mom, my dad, blah, blah, I can't say that today. So I have to be very specific. So the sound of my son's laughter, or you know, being able to help a child fall in love with a novel. You know, like I'm very specific in the morning. So what I'm grateful for, I set the tone for my day. That still doesn't always make the day perfect, but it does help me realize that, you know, it's just not, everything is not all bad. You know, find the good even in the bad. Find the good. You know, God is looking for us to represent Him, and you know, and I feel like, especially where I work, I'm one of like maybe 5 African American teachers there, and so I might be the only professional African American person that these other races see. So I dress up, I make sure I look, you know, nice, you know, and they're always like, you always dress so nice. Well, you talk nice for a black girl.
Wow.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm like, well, you know, thank you. You know, I went to Hockaday okay. I did my thing. I know what to do. I'm okay. I try to, be positive at all times, but I realize that, everything we do is ministry, even if you're not feeling it,
What's the age group you teach?
4th and 5th grade, so 9 and 10.
Okay.
And they are a handful,
I can
but
imagine.
they love me for some reason, and I love them too.
Yes. It's your character.
Yeah, I like to have fun. I think I'm a big kid.
Yes, you are.
But just dealing with that. But also, God is so good because I do sing
Yes,
on
you
the
do.
side, and I started a BGV, a background vocalist company called
wonderful.
buttervocals.com, and
I like
so we did
that.
some stuff.
Butter vocals.
Butter. Because they smooth.
Uh-huh.
And yeah. But we did some stuff with Dante Bowe for his the record that he just did. And so God is
Tell
still
us about your music history real quick.
Oh.
Kind of go back with that before we come back to
Okay. So hey y'all.
Hey.
My name is Aisha Seawright, but I was Aisha Cleaver, and in the 5th grade I met this lady named Mrs. Seawright. She was my music teacher. And she taught me how to sing out and project my voice and how to be a soloist and da-da-da. And then I was also a drummer, but my mama told me to stop playing drums because girl drummers don't get married. We can talk about that later.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I was into drums, and so I was 15 and I went to this concert. Carnell Morrell was doing a live recording.
Hey,
And
Tosha.
his folk was on the drums, and they were like, he's 15 years old. I was like, that's how old I am, And so I was like, Seawright, I know that name. So Miss Seawright was like, are you still singing? I was like, yeah. She's like, well, let me get your number. So a year or so later, she started God's Property, and I joined God's Property, and I started singing there and professionally. And then I've done some stuff, the Marvin Sapp, Never Would Have Made It, He Saw the Best in Me. I've done the stuff with Kirk, Smile, some, the movie Joyful Noise, I was with you. Girl, we ain't strangers. We've been doing this thing for a long time.
Yes.
So, God is good. Like, He's given me many talents, and so I try to exercise those. But I will tell you, though, in this grief, in this moment, this window of grief,
Yes.
it's hard to pick up a pen and write, because that's really what I want to do, is write for television and film. That's what I have been doing. But it's really hard. It's difficult
Is it mentally challenging more than anything?
Yes, it's just like my heart is broken, so I feel like words mean so much to me.
Yes.
And when my heart is broken, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And so I'm just so glad that God knows when I'm moaning and what that means. You know what I'm saying? Like when I don't know what to say. And I'm, in the car, because baby, these red lights get it. I be crying in the car.
Would you write about your grief, or like what you're feeling, or?
I do write about it in a journal, but once it gets too heavy for me, I put the pen down.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes it's just too much.
It's just an overload.
Yeah, sensory overload.
I understand that.
I'm just so proud of you for being able to talk about it, number one.
Thank you.
Because for me, just to hear you share the hardness of it and the emotional tug that it has had on you, I would, in my own mind, think, how would I be able to talk about it? There are some things that I talk about even now where I haven't experienced the grief, but just knowing you knew your father was sick and you were watching that whole process, like those things would break me down even before something actually happened. So to have you here,
and that's the most recent thing. So my stepdad, who married my mom when I was 11.
Okay.
So he's been my dad. Now I'm not. Should I tell you how old?
Oh yes, but you're fine.
I am 48 years old.
And look what May say.
Yes, 48. I will be 49.
Gotcha.
July 3rd. Thank you. But he married my mom when I was 11, so he's been, my dad too.
Yeah.
And so it started in December. He got his second booster shot, and he kept feeling like it was a shot, but really it was cancer spreading through his body. And so we would take him. He was like, something ain't right when you go. And he loved to go to the hospital. I didn't go to the hospital. I'm going, something ain't right.
Well, that's definitely different.
No, that's rare.
Yes. He was like, I'm going to the hospital. I'm going to see my doctor. He's like, Dr. Jenkins. And so, but when he started really declining, I was there. We were there every day, every single day. And they wanted to. They didn't, instead of us sending him home from the hospital, they wanted to send him to a facility. So we went to the facility, and I was there every day, every night, and then we went back to the hospital, and then maybe 9 days after that he was kind of gone. He was really struggling too. He was struggling. Last thing he said, so it was Monday, he coded and they called me like, you need to get to the hospital. So I get to the hospital, they brought him back. So he's laying there like this. He opens his eyes. I said, hey daddy. He said, why you not at work? Sir, because you're trying to unalive yourself. No, you need to go to work, sir.
That's what he's focused on.
That is so
But he was 88, and this man did something every day. Like
he was about that life.
Man, we had to make him stop driving in January.
Oh wow,
for real.
He said, "I want to still be doing."
No, he was like, "Y'all not gonna make me feel like no sorry." No,
but he wakes up and says, "Why are you not at work?"
Well, he unalives himself. He comes back to life and goes, "Why you not at work?" Cause you over here showing out, bro. Like, get up, then I'll go back to work. And so that was a Monday night. So that Tuesday night, I spent the night with him, and I just held his hand. And then that next morning, I went to work, and they called and like, come back. No, he's gone.
Oh,
so
wow.
that was March 27th.
So recently.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And so, come on, tell us what that process was like, because now there's multiple passings that you've dealt with.
Back to back, yeah.
So how are you feeling? How are you talking to the Lord about this? Like, what are you saying?
Why you tripping? Like, get your foot off the gas, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you give me a break? Hold on, one at a time, something, Lord. No, I've been grateful. I've been sad. But I've been grateful that I've been able to say that I had this person in my life for this long, to be able to say that I had someone to love me like that and love on my mom like that. Like, my mom has not backed her car in, and I know she's been paralyzed since 2018, but before that, she has not backed her car in the garage since like 1998. Because she would pull up and he would back it in for her so she could just drive out in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And his daddy told him, when you leave the house, you better come back to this house with something. I don't care if it's a stick of butter, a piece of newspaper, something. And so every day he would bring my mama something. So imagine what she's going through right now. Because she thinks I'm supposed to bring her something home every day. And I said, ma'am, he's gone. Your boyfriend is gone.
Wow.
You gonna have to deal with what we brought on Monday. And that's gonna have to last you till Friday. I'm not bringing you no stick of butter every day. A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. No, ma'am. But he loved her. I'm just, when you say, what do you say when you're talking to the Lord?
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I even had that experience, because there's so many girls that didn't have a father figure. I had two that loved me and adored me and made me feel like I am the queen and I can do anything. And, whatever I wanted to do, they supported, they were proud of me. So, and for him to say, why you not at work, means like, okay, so now I gotta keep working. Like, I can't stop. Like, I feel like I gotta work for him.
Like that was his.
That was his last thing. Yeah, you better go to work. And so. Yeah, and like I said, I was the only one that was able to give him a grandson. So, and they were close.
Yeah.
Like, he called him Fat Daddy, and my son called his room Papa's toy shop was the toy hospital. So anything he would take in there, my daddy would fix.
Oh, wow.
Any toy, he would fix it. So just watching him, really, I'm more worried about my son than I am about myself. Like, I think I'm going to be okay, but just watching out for him.
How have you been able to do that? So is he vocally talking about what's going on with him? Or
he just says he misses Papa, but that's it, but he's more like, he's always like, Mommy, are you okay? Can I do anything for you?
Right.
And I'm like, no, can I do anything for you? Because you lost your favorite auntie, Nanny's birthday. Y'all were born on the same day. I gave birth, saying like that was your best friend, and then Papa and the other, it's just so, I don't know.
How old is your son?
He's 15.
Gotcha.
So, and he is very active in the marching band at high school, which I wasn't expecting. Like, we didn't want to push him into music because we are musicians, but we want him to do his own thing. Yeah. But he has taught himself how to play piano. He's playing percussion. He's playing xylophone. He's playing all the marimba, like everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's a pretty dope kid. I must say so myself. He's cute too.
So talking to the audience, and being that you've experienced these things, you've kind of shared with us how you've gone through the process. But looking at someone that's watching, share with them what would you advise them to do in their going through grief? What would you suggest they start doing?
First of all, find a therapist, somebody that is medically trained to help you deal with this, because sometimes you will question, am I going crazy? You know what I'm saying? I just thought I was going nuts at one point. You know, when my biological dad passed, and I was going to Laurel Land, laying down on the grave, like this is not normal, you know. So,
but you felt you needed to do that. Why?
Because
Why did you do that?
I felt like I needed to do that because that was the last place I saw him. And every Thursday we would meet up.
Okay.
Either we would talk on the phone or I would come to his house.
Okay.
And so I felt like this was, in my mind, this is the last place I saw him. This is where he is. I'm going to go see my dad.
Got it.
I'm going to go see my dad.
Okay.
I know he's not there. And I stopped it. Thank God, you know, the therapist and therapy has helped me realize that that's, you know, girl, stop. You know what I'm saying? He's in your heart. You know, his body is there, his shell is there, and you can go through that, but he's with you. Wherever you lay down in your bed, he's with you, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I would advise anybody going through like a series of grief, like I have been just bombarded with it. Go talk to somebody, like somebody that is, like I said, medically trained, not just a Christian therapist, but I'm talking about somebody that can prescribe some medicine, just in case if you can't sleep, because I wasn't sleeping. I was sleeping 90 minutes a night total.
Okay.
And that was not good. I was like going to work, brain fog, you know what I'm saying, like forgetting things and stuff like that. And they gave me some, I'm not ashamed, I take anxiety meds, you know, when I need to. I don't abuse them and I don't take them all the time, but when I feel like, you know, oh my God, the grief is getting ready to overwhelm me, I take it. So I would advise everybody to talk to somebody, you know, maybe medicine isn't the route for you, but at least talk to somebody, an unbiased person that has been trained to help you deal with grief, to help you process it. Another thing I would say is to find a friend that you can confide in, somebody that loves you unconditionally. And thankfully I have some of these. I'm so proud of myself because when I introduce my friends to people, I'm like, I've been knowing this girl since 1993. I've been knowing this person. And you know, they said that speaks volumes. If you've had a friend over 7 years, that same person being your friend for 7 years or more, that speaks volumes about you and your character. So I'm very proud of my friendships. I feel like I hoard my friends. Like I love them. They're the same people that I've been in high school with, you know, college with. They pull up for me. Like, I mean, no matter what, they pull up. I mean, I have friends that will pull up in their bonnets and their moo-moos. What's up? What you doing? What you say? You need what? All right, let's go. You know, let's go. So, you know, definitely confide in some friends that love you unconditionally. And go to sleep.
Rest.
Just get you some rest, man. For real, just take a nap. You know, when it gets too hard, just go to sleep.
That's real.
For real, just take a nap, man. Everything is better after a little nap. I ain't lying. I don't care where it is. Take you a nap, man. Go to the car. Go wherever you are. Take a nap. Just find some peace. Whatever it is that brings you rest. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's traveling. So Spud has made sure, my husband has made sure that
shout out to
Spud. But he has made sure that, you know, wherever he is, if I can go, like last year he flew me to Dubai, we went to Finland, we went to Warsaw.
Okay,
no, that's not real nice.
But my favorite place is Laguna Beach. He doesn't understand. I don't even understand why I love it so much, but when I go there, I'm a different person. I feel like that's where I'm supposed to retire.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an artist community. It's just romantic.
It just feels like you.
It's Hawaii without flying 5 hours.
Right.
You know, it's beautiful. So just, you know, travel or whatever it is. Read a book. I do have a journal, a specific journal that says, Dad, if you were here. I found it on Amazon, and there are these little things little entries I make every day. Today I wanted to tell you, or today I wish you saw. You know, like this morning, it was a red bird on my house.
Oh wow!
And I live on Redbird Lane. Yeah. And so I was like, Daddy, is that you? And so I wrote that down this morning. I think I saw you tweet at me this morning. You know, so you know, just find things, whatever it is, whatever your jam is. If it's music, or if it's art, or if it's just being quiet, you know. I just advise people to just get into yourself, but just continue to keep God first, you know, because He loves us and He knows what we're going through, you know. He really, and I've been thinking about that, like He knows how much we can bear.
Yes.
And I'm like, are you sure, Lord? Get this off of me, bro. I I am not this strong, man, for real. But apparently, he trusts me. And so, but that helps me be a better teacher, you know, because my students are going through way more than I am. You know, I have some students they're living with broken hearts. This one little girl's like, her dad left her when she was 8 months.
Oh, wow.
And but he was a rapper and a singer. But she sings. And so but when she sings, her mom comes in the room and tells her to shut up because it reminds her of her dad that left her.
Yeah.
So I tell her, baby, you can come eat lunch with me and you can sing this whole 30 minutes if you want to, you know. And so it helps, like, what I'm going through helps me be a better light to the students that I serve. Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
That is.
So I'm going to ask you this one last question. The word death. People have a hard time with that. They have a hard time with planning for it. They have a hard time with talking about it. So if the person, just say for instance, if they have not reached the point of death, but you can actually see they may be headed toward there. Would you suggest that people talk about it prior to? Okay, talk about it.
Definitely. So what I will say, what I'm really proud of, and I did not mention this, but one of my best friends passed away in July, Daniel Jones.
Yes, hey Daniel.
And I wrote the obituary and all that stuff. I sat with his wife the entire time, you know, like that. But I've known Daniel since he was 16. And so to lose him in the way that we lost him, very unexpectedly, and then to plan the funeral and it to be a big, like his funeral was a big deal. It wasn't like, you know, your granny passed away. Like we had to like deal with security because a certain personnel was coming and this and that, and that, you know, but still having to write it and just, oh my God, like I wasn't ready for that. Like that, losing him was like losing my daddy all over again. For real, because this is a friend that I talk to every single day. We talk every single day.
Wow.
You know, every single day about everything. Did you watch, you know, Billions, or, you know, we shared his name's still on my Amazon account, Prime, whatever. We just would share shows and music, and I mean, so to lose him, like it just triggered like that for me. Oh my God, that messed me up. It really did mess me up. It was hard for me to go back to school. It really was. It was hard for me to go back to work because his funeral was the weekend before school started. And I was just like, I can't come to work. Like I couldn't process that, you know.
Wow.
What was the question you asked? Because I didn't want to forget him because he's a part of my grief.
Yes,
he's a part, like it's a big part of that because he was such a special person. He is still such a special person. And I mean,
and what was Daniel known for?
So Daniel Jones is very known for being Janet Jackson's music director. Justin Timberlake. He did the last record with Michael Jackson, Blue Dragon, I think it was. Jay-Z. I mean, anybody you could think of. He was on the bandstand, you know, for everybody.
Yeah.
He's done all the Super Bowls and he got plaques and Rihanna and. He wrote "Sorry" with Beyonce. Sorry, I ain't sorry. He wrote that, you know. You know, he wrote all of the Rihanna. Wrote a couple of Rihanna songs. Like he's just, you know, very, very famous in that realm. But he always was very accessible.
Yes, he was.
He made sure that he came home and played at church. He made sure his grandparents were taken care of. He made sure that and without telling a whole lot of his business, he made sure his affairs were in order. So back to that, that's what triggered your. So when you said, what would you advise people? Make sure your affairs are in order so that your family won't have to be sitting at the funeral home trying to figure out what's what because you already said, I want this, and that. All y'all need to do is put me in a suit and cry. You know what I'm saying? He made sure that his business was taken care of, his affairs were taken care of, and his wife and his son are taken care of forever. So, you know, that's what I would advise everybody. I don't care what age range you are in. Get your affairs in order. Get you a beneficiary. Go to the bank. Make sure you know who's gonna get your money. You know, or who has access to it, or whatever. Like, just take care of your business, man. Because we don't often do that. You know, it's sad, but we don't have a lot of financial literacy amongst our community. But we should. And this, you know, if I could be a champion for that, I would definitely suggest that people do that. You know, in addition to leaning on the Lord and crying hallelujah, all that. Boo, take care of your business.
Okay. Boo, take care of your business.
Take care of your business.
Wow, Aisha, when I tell you, you have been nothing but an informative blessing here today.
Thank you for having having me.
We are so excited you joined us today. And so how we end is we share what we're okay with.
Okay.
And so I'll start. I'm going to say that I am okay with understanding death. I'm okay with communicating about death, and I'm okay with getting my affairs in order.
Okay.
Chyna, what are you okay with?
I would say the same thing. I'm okay with death. I see the beauty in it, and seeing that it's a blessing to even be able to be on this earth and live the life that you live, and to be able to experience people in the time that they do have, the time that we have, because you just never know when it is your time. So, okay with that.
That's good.
Seeing the good in it.
What are you okay with?
I'm okay with talking about it. And I think that we need to have more conversations, or conversations like these need to be had amongst our friends. You know, you can always get together and have brunch and kiki and mimosas, but say you got your business in order. You know what I'm saying? Hey, did you take care of what's going to happen if your mama, you know, or what's going to happen if your son, or do you have, you know what I'm saying? Like, I will say, like, my bonus dad, he had everything in a folder. Here are the papers, here's the insurance, here's the mortgage, here's the this, here's the that. I mean, we didn't have to look for nothing. So that took such a load off of us. You know, we didn't even have to pick out his suit. He had everything in order. It was in a bag. He knew what he wanted. He knew what pen he wanted to have, all that. So make sure, like, that helps your family. And your loved ones. Whoever's gonna is responsible for putting you, you know, to rest. Make sure that you take care of as much as you can, so that you can alleviate that stress from them. That's what I'm okay with. I'm okay with talking about it.
It's great.
That's so good. When I say once a week, we're so excited about all this wisdom that we got here on today.
Yes.
Thank y'all for having me.
You're so welcome. Well, you know, guys, you all can tune in each Wednesday at 9 a.m. on YouTube. You can subscribe, like, and share about the OK Den Show.
Yes, and you can also listen on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, Anchor. Also, every Wednesday at 9 a.m., make sure y'all are telling us what you think about death and how you've dealt with your grief. And just keep back and watching with us.
Get your popcorn. Teach Wednesday morning
Okay.
at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and that's how we end.
Yeah.
So we're about to leave. So what we say is okay then, bye then. We say it together.
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay then, bye then.